content in India today, it's a really interesting time to be making web series or TV series or feature films because you have projects coming out of India which are going global because of the new platforms and the new ways to experience and see things. That veneer of gloss, I think, has been shattered, and I think it plays very well into what we're trying to do here. My name is Richie Mehta. I wrote and directed Delhi Crime Story, which is playing at the Indie Episodic section of the 2019 Sundance Film Festival. Delhi Crime Story is a 7-part series that is based on a true story of a gang rape on a bus in 2012, a horrific crime that made international waves. The reason I made this project was because I was here in India when it happened. The entire country was moved by it. There were protests, there were riots, but I also had a family friend who was in the Delhi police. And so when I got to know these officers really well, I realized their perspective is very different from our perspective. It goes without saying it's an interesting time for series right now. I think we still call them TV series. I think probably we should drop TV at some point because structures that have been established over the last several decades are now kind of being broken and thwarted. Full disclosure, I started off writing this as a feature film because that's kind of what I've been doing for the last 17 years. As I did more research, I realized it would really benefit this project and benefit the viewer if I really tried to stick to the reality of what happened and how it happened. Because you have the option now of, can you make a film in 75 minutes so it fits a certain paradigm, or can you make it 8 hours? That's kind of the option you get as an independent filmmaker. It became a series because I couldn't simply fit the content into a feature film. So essentially, it's an 8-hour independent film, serialized. We all have a perspective on this crime. It's such a horrific incident, and you can't help but hear about it. But what we don't know is the perspective of people who have to deal with this kind of thing every day. Again, goes without saying, it's an interesting and very specific time in terms of women's rights, the movements that are happening now. What I'm trying to do with this, and what our team is trying to do through this, it was a real collaboration, especially with the women I was working with, especially with Shefali Shah, who plays Vartika. And to be honest, Chaya Sharma, who's the real officer, who this is based on. And understanding it from her point of view and trying to realistically and faithfully and compassionately depict the problems they face, and at an intimate level. I hope people look at even the perpetrators of these types of crimes and understand that it's not just a punishment that's required for them. It's much bigger than that. It's why they think the way they do. And it's also looking at the idea of law and order, the idea of justice. And you hope that somewhere along the line, it's such a hokey thing to say, you hope it affects somebody who then affects change. And it's such a strange thing to say in the age of apathy, I think. But you just kind of have to stick to that.